You know I had to do it. Try out the dual camera. We are working over here in the Eliot neighborhood. Pictures coming soon. Got a full house rewire, removing the knob and tube. Let's get it. All right, so we are back here again, working in the Eliot neighborhood. Let's see what we got going on. Okay, so you got knob and tube pretty much everywhere. This is what knob and tube looks like. Just give you an idea of what that stuff is looking like right now. And you got it up there. And so our process, we got to cut the old stuff out. We find the pathway for where it's going. And then we start to demo. This one's a little bit unique. We had this is a really old house. So you can see that pipe there coming there out of the wires, which is kind of crazy, right? That is because gas was used to power lights way back in the day when when electricity wasn't common. So that's kind of crazy, right? So that's kind of cool, getting to see that. So you do have to contact the plumber, just make sure no gas is going to that, or at least find out where the end point of that is. And then, yeah, with knob and tube stuff, there's no electrical box to attach a light to. So we're gonna have to put a box up there, and they're also going to have to look at getting a different light for that as well. Same thing for this area too. You can see that knob and tube up there in the ceiling, right? Woo, fun stuff. And then if you come over here to the switch box area, this is where the switch was. They did something a little weird there and like framed that in. So with this has lath and plaster, it's just not your typical drywall. So this takes a lot more time to cut through. Just goes through our multi-tool blades like crazy. You're using up so many of those things. And then you just gotta find out where all that stuff goes, cut it out. This one, we were able to figure out that there were some outlets too that had knob and tube. So those are getting removed. Let's see what else here. Oh yeah, this room is a really good representation of what all this stuff does. Yeah. So you got it there, comes up here. And then from there, you can see it going all kind of crazy ways. So yeah, that's coming up there. Going up to the ceiling again, we got the same problem, no box. So we're gonna have to put a box in there. Also have to get new lights. Same thing for this. And some of these areas are fine. Like this is already grounded, newer wire there. So that's fine. And then we just had to pull knob and tube out of that guy. All right. And then let's go in the basement and see what we got down here too. So we're doing some work down here. Got that panel exposed. Terrible spot for a panel. Nobody ever gives us the clearances we need. That's just how it goes. Everybody seems to make all the wiring look super great all the way up to this point, and then you'll have some kind of crazy splice in here, right? That's usually how it goes. Boom, there's your splice right there. Oh man, I hate when people do that. Just fix it, just replace it, right? You got a wire nut just out there floating in space connected to one of these things. Anyway, so we've got all this knob and tube to remove right there. It wraps around. And it's coming over this way somewhere. Yeah, there we go. It's right there. Knobby and tubey. Yeah, so this is a pretty large house. We're going to be here for probably a couple of weeks, getting all this stuff removed. And then after us is the drywall guy. And love my drywall guy. He hooks my customers up. He's able to get in here very quickly, get stuff done, and it looks awesome when he's finished. let's see, up here on this floor, ooh, we got those old push button switches. Ooh, those are so cool. More knob and tube up there in the ceiling. And that was a pull string. And this was just an outlet. So I'm gonna have to cut that guy out and have a cinch. All right. All right, same thing there. More knob and tube. Hey, that one was updated, sweet. Oh, knob and tube again. And this one does not have a switch. So we're gonna need to put a switch over here too. Yeah, so we're gonna have to give her a little change order. And, all right. That one seems fine. And let's see what else. Oh, buddy, we got some knob and tube in there. Good times. Okay, so I guess you kind of get the point, you know. You just got knob and tube everywhere, and you just got to get rid of it. There's just no way around it. Got a wire nut sticking in there to do something. I don't know what that's gonna do. Hang out on the wall. That's not really how it's supposed to go. Got those old fixtures. Awesome. All right, we're gonna have to get after it. That old fixture support, if that is knob and tube, we also need to get a box up there too. So I'll be updating you as we go along and getting some pictures out. Check it out. So we are replacing this knob and tube, and as we get more and more into this, check this out. You've got those, that's how somebody decided to slice the knob and tube. That is not an approved method. So that's got to be cleaned up too. And we're going to have to figure out where all of this stuff is going. Too dark in there, I need to get my flash on. Yeah, this is a mess. Fun. All right, so this is our, I don't know, 4th or 5th day in this house. It's got some really cool architecture and structure in here. I'm really liking the way this is all set up. The green paint's super cool. It breaks my heart that we had to cut open the walls and all that stuff. And the electrician inside of me is giggling with joy as I create work for the drywaller. Ha ha ha, just kidding. Yeah, so we've got all this knob and tube stuff here. Started pulling in wire. We leave these wires here so that we can test to make sure nothing's going to be live when we hook things back up. Let's see, I just want to show you around here. This is a really cool setup. Check that out. Cool doors, got the built-ins over there. This is pretty sweet. Look at that thing. That's awesome. Very, very cool. Super tiny kitchen. And it's kind of funny, it's like right next to the bathroom. So, but yeah, very sweet setup. Yeah, we're just working our way through this one. Let's see. All right. We're gonna go upstairs and check it out up there. Okay. Got some of our cloths down there. And those funky push button switches. She said she wants to keep those. We'll see. So we had to cut that open to get all the wiring in. And we go in this room here. Had to cut this guy open so that we're able to get the wiring downstairs and have a good way to get power in. So we got here a lot of holes. Yeah, there's no attic up above. That's why we had to cut that piece out. Pulling out all this old wire and still just cranking through this place. I swear, it's more work trying to find a path and cutting neat holes than it is actual electrical work. And then we've got to leave these openings until we get our inspection, our roughing inspection. And then once that's done, then we can go ahead and, have the drywaller out, patch this all up, make it look pretty. Someone else gets to come in and paint. We put all of our outlets in here in place, and yeah, we're rolling. So project like this one's got 3 levels. One level's already finished, or I should say one level already has newer wiring in it. And let's see, we're time-wise, you're probably looking at about 15 days for the electrical stuff. And then I'd say another couple of days for drywall, 2 or 3 days for the drywall and mud. And you've got a little bit of paint to do, so that's a few days. And then the last thing is cleanup, because you gotta get these floors all nice there. We do work with a cleaning service that we can include that in our price, but we have not done so for this customer. She's gonna take care of it on her own. Anyway, pretty sweet house. It's gonna look and feel a lot better with all the new wiring in there and give them a lot of peace of mind. Oh, so this one was kind of interesting. Insurance company said no go on insurance until the knob and tube gets removed. Huge bummer. The outlets all have newer wiring, so that's super cool, but the switches and lights do not. And they are touching the insulation, which is a big scary no-no and could cause a fire. So yeah, that's where it's at. Oh, and this is kind of cool here. So if you do this right, we will have to make another hole here. Maybe actually probably more so run this side, because there is a light on the porch. And so instead of cutting into that beautiful wood ceiling there, we're gonna cut the drywall or the lath and plaster and get some wiring over there, so we can get that thing to have some new wire too. So yeah, gonna keep cranking through it. Give a little update here soon.